seems a bit like meatloaf. Prince Harry will do anything, but he won't do that. But what is that? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thank you as ever for joining me today. We're in the Crown Estate area today, near the High Commission for Papua New Guinea. There's some wonderful buildings around here when you look around London, and they're all free. You know, if you do come over to London, that is the nice thing about these things. You can sort of enjoy London without it being that expensive. I'm not on a commission, by the way, or anything like that. I just like to share with you what I find out, because you know, when you come over, it's like if you go to New York or anywhere in the world, you know, those big cities, Tokyo, Japan, that sort of thing. You always think, I must do all of those things. It's the other things that you find out, you know. So if you go to New Zealand, there's some wonderful things you can do for free. Likewise in Canada. In fact, you know, basically you should let everybody know what your cities, your country offers for free, so it's not busting the bank in these pandemic strapped times, as I'm sure we all are. Back as ever though to your breaking royal story of the day. What I always find really strange, you know, with Prince Harry is he's obviously not very well clued in. And I'm not attacking him, I'm just basically saying this is the first time in his life that he's had to, you know, really think for himself. And you can see that through the paper cracks that are coming through now with these deals that he's done with Spotify and Netflix. As I've said many times before, do you remember that very ill-advised comment that he stated during the Oprah Winfrey interview, in fact, where he said, well, you know, I kind of needed some money, so I thought, well, why not? I'll sign up. Hardly the great basis to start making a entertainment, production, television, whatever you want to call it, career, right? And then he went on to sign that mega deal with Penguin Random House. Next stage really now for the book is that it's going to be going to the lawyers. They're going to be kept busy because they'll need to look through it in great detail, and then there'll be chunks of it that will have to be binged or rewritten or rethought, as they say. It's going to be really difficult times actually for Prince Harry, because if you thought you're just going to sit down with someone and bag the money, it's never as simple as that. As an author myself, writing quite a few books in my time, it's time consuming, and more importantly, you've got to get it right. But the bigger problem now for Harry is this, and I can tell you this first and exclusive on the show. The problem really is that obviously if he wants to try and cement a relationship back with his family, and in particular Prince Charles and Camilla, who we know that he has written about, then obviously the kindest thing to do would be to submit a draft copy. Not even a draft copy, but even just like a semi-finished book. Perhaps even to our gracious Majesty the Queen. After all, this is her big year. She should be able to look at it and think, well, this is what I've got coming. A little bit of pre-warning, as it were. Now, obviously, we're not suggesting in any way that Prince Harry's been detrimental to his grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen. But we're not quite sure exactly how the rest of the family members will come out. As I've told you many times also on the show, they will want some salacious news. It's part of the deal. That's what you've got to deliver. Forward for Prince Harry though, this is seriously where his hands are tied. Even if he wanted to submit a copy for approval, or perhaps just to guide them through it and say, this is what I've written so far, he won't be allowed. He will have signed a very, very tight agreement. And they simply, the book publisher that is, would not allow it to go into the wrong hands to be leaked, and more importantly, the potential to lose sales and maximum publicity. So while Prince Charles, Camilla, Prince William and Catherine, amongst others, may wish to see exactly what Prince Harry said or written about them in more detail, then truly, on this particular instance, his hands are tied. If he'd have been a little bit shrewder though, I do know authors who are allowed to do this for fear of offending. But seemingly, Harry once again wasn't totally across all of those things. What a shame. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.